Good evening, and welcome along to Rob and Elliott tonight. Now, if you're a big fan of Bruce Springsteen, stick around because Monty Thompson and Stephen Quinn from the Springsteen Tribute Band are going to be with us a little bit later on. We'll be talking theatre as well. We'll be finding out about the brand new show, Vote Dia. If you're a fan of the boss, Bruce Springsteen, we'll be chatting to Monty Thompson and Stephen Quinn from the Springsteen Tribute Band in just a second. But here they are, playing live in the studio.
I'm driving in my car, I turn on the radio, I'm pulling you close, you just say no, you say you don't like it, but you know you're a liar, 'cause when we kiss, fire, fire, late at night, I'm taking you home, you say you wanna stay, I say I wanna be alone, you say you don't love you, but you know I'm a liar, 'cause when we kiss, ooh, fire, fire, you gotta hold on me right from the start, a grip so tight I couldn't tear it apart, your nerves all jumping as you light the fuse, well the kisses say burn, but my heart stays cool. Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah, baby you can bet a love that couldn't deny, my words say split, but my words they lie, 'cause when we kiss, ooh, fire, fire, burn me up with fire, I like what you do to me, fire,
So there we go, of course. After a song like that, these guys need no introduction. They are the #1 Bruce Springsteen tribute show in the whole world ever. I'm pleased to say that the man himself, who just, I mean, you are so much like, I can't believe that I'm sitting here looking at you,
Really?
and you're like Bruce Springsteen.
Wow, thanks. I'd have to thank my mom for the genetics, I guess. I'm no relation, I promise you.
So fabulous live performance there. Thank you for doing that. So
It was so fun to do.
Monty, tell us, how did the whole thing come about? How did the whole Springsteen thing happen? How did you realize that you had the voice of Springsteen?
Well, as a cover musician for most of my life, I do a lot of voices. I can't help when I'm playing somebody, I sing their voice. You know?
Yeah.
Whether it's Bob Seger or Tom Petty or whatever, I just kind of tilt towards that voice. And I've always played a couple of Springsteen covers that I really enjoyed. But it wasn't until Stephen called me and said, hey man, you want to come try out for this band?
Right, okay.
And I said, okay. He says, it's a Springsteen tribute. I said, never even thought about playing in a tribute before. And I thought, can I really play one type of music from one artist all the time? Would it drive me crazy? And I didn't really know too much about Springsteen. That surprises a lot of people. I'm actually a new fan.
Okay.
And I told him, I know 3 or 4 songs. He goes, right, well, we'll put those on the tryout list, and then we'll add a couple if you want to learn those. And so I did. I learned them, and when I was learning them, I was thinking, this is pretty cool stuff. And so I went and did the tryout and got the job and really kind of studied the voice. My everyday singing voice doesn't sound like Bruce at
Okay,
all.
right,
you know?
okay.
Yeah, I mean, with a tribute band, like if there was a band that just covered somebody's songs, and then there was a band who did impersonation, covering the songs would be 0, impersonation would be 10. A tribute band kind of lands on 5.
Yeah.
So I try to push it into the 6th and 7th, maybe do a little more impersonation voice-wise in some of the moves and stuff, but my voice doesn't naturally sound like that at all. So.
Well, let's rewind a little bit, because obviously you're American. How did you end up here in Northern Ireland?
I married an amazing Irish girl.
Right, okay. And the rest is history.
And the rest is history, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Stephen, last time we met was 20 years ago, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was.
We were doing a thing with Henry McCulloch, the late, great Henry.
That's right. Doesn't be long going in, 20 years, Robin, you know.
It flies in, but you had the pleasure, I mean, you've worked with many greats over the years, but working with Henry
fortunately.
must have been a dream.
Yeah, it was, let's say it was a baptism of fire of sorts. He was a family friend, and he was stuck for a drummer for a weekend's gig, and there was a phone call came to the house one day, and I followed the phone call up, and he said, "Okay, if you can, you know, bring your kit." That was it. There was no rehearsal. There was nothing, and I ended up there for about 8 years.
And of course, 20 years ago when we were shooting the thing, Henry was having a massive comeback at that stage.
He
wasn't
was,
he?
yeah. He had a bit of a windfall with Paul McCartney, and he did an album. He wanted to use the band for the album, and he was kind of riding high after that one. And we did a lot of touring around Ireland, and that interview that you're referring to was, I think, the Whitla Hall in Belfast.
Yeah, I think so,
About
yeah.
2003. So yeah, it was an eventful time at that time.
Yeah, it was. And of course, the other thing for people who don't know as well, your dad is the legendary Brendan Quinn as well.
He certainly is, yes.
Who's always on this show. He's always welcome on this show.
He's I'm very grateful to my dad for giving me a start in this business, and I work with him. I still work with him, although albeit on a limited level, because he changes direction quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he's got some stuff coming up for next year as well.
Oh, brilliant.
He'll be in the we're going to kind of try and organise a 60-year anniversary. He's 60 years in the music business next year.
Yeah.
So we'll put some stuff together for him for that as well.
Yeah, now the Springsteen tribute show you're doing at the minute, I mean, it's gone to great heights, hasn't it?
We're very lucky, yeah. We've got the right team together, Robin. You know, we've got the voice with Monty and the look, and we really worked hard with the personnel.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been easy. You know, any band is really difficult to kind of keep together, but we're very, very lucky that we've got the right team, the right ingredients. Everything has just fallen into place. And when Monty came along, it was just like a complete breath of fresh air, and everything just started to fall into place very, very naturally.
Yeah.
You know, and you get the right agent calling you get the right gigs offered and stuff. So we've been very, very lucky.
The
Absolutely.
people are driving us. You know,
Yeah.
every person we talk to is giving us fantastic feedback and just keep us motivated. You know, and keep us really listening for what they want to hear, you know, because these are the fans.
Yeah, of course.
They call them tramps, Springsteen fans.
But what about choosing the songs? Because when you look back through Springsteen's back catalogue, I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of really good songs. How do you put the show together?
Yeah, if you're going to be a tribute artist, Springsteen is the best one you can be, because his catalog is massive.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for some of these guys who have to play, you know, they got 10, 20 songs max that they can play, and they just to change the order or turn them into medleys, try to be creative to keep the show fresh. We can pull songs from everywhere, and they're all amazing crowd pleasers. So it's pretty easy for us. As a fresh Springsteen fan, I have that perspective of not a hardcore fan that only listens to some obscure, you know, Springsteen number. I kind of listen for the people who come to the shows who know of his music and a couple of the hits, but don't know everything, and we try to pick the most musically accessible ones and ones that showcase throughout his career, little snapshots of everything he does.
So was there a song for you that got you into his music? Because for me, as a kid, I was going through my dad's record collection and I pulled out Born to Run, and the first time that I heard the first few seconds of Born to Run, I went, this is music. This is the most important thing ever. This is, you know.
Man, for me, growing up, as you know, a lot of my musical influences come from the '80s because I was just, I was that age. Then I was in my 20s, so yeah, he was doing things. Obviously, Born to Run is a standout. Dancing in the Dark, I thought was a cool sound, but when he starts to do his down low acoustic stuff, My Hometown and songs that really grabbed my attention. I knew these were songs that I wanted to learn. We're from the heart. We're not playing at these songs or just repeating them for people to hear. This is stuff that moves me deeply, personally. The Rising is a song that is just. It's purely anthemic, and it's almost like a prayer. It's incredibly powerful, and all of these songs are in some way either fun, lighthearted jabs at American culture, or like Born in the USA, because I was a U.S. military member, and so I always think of the guys that I served with, and the guys that I know some of them aren't coming home. And so all of these things.
There's still people who don't see that song as an anti-war song, and that's what it is.
Well, it is absolutely an anti-war song. It's a cry out from the Vietnam era where these guys came back home and their country reviled them. So and it is really, really sad. Things are improving now in that area, but it's not easy. So there's a lot of poignant subject matter there that Springsteen hits home with, and I get to, learn all this stuff fresh, and see the sparkle in the eyes of the people and the fans who know it and have seen Springsteen 10 times, and we get the feedback from them. They compare us to him, they rate us against him, say, oh, I saw him here, and he did that, and you did that too, and all this stuff. So we trust that we're doing a good job, but we're always focused on really making those people happy.
Yeah, it wasn't like, as Monty is alluding to. It's not until you actually study the material, and the back catalogue, you realise, wow, this guy has done some stuff, and really, he's a brilliant writer, great lyricist, and a really, really good musician. I mean, they don't call him the boss for nothing.
Exactly.
But he's, to me, like I feel that he's really underrated as a writer.
You got to pass away before people go, oh, that guy was,
exactly,
the rock guy,
and you've got to give the band some credit, because the E Street Band are a fabulous, Clarence Clements in the band all those years as well.
Monsters. They're monsters.
They
every
played
single
on
one
a lot
of
of stuff. They did like Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf and stuff like that. And they worked with Jim Steinman.
They are masters at their craft. Absolutely.
Very influential.
What about the new album, the cover stuff? I've been playing it. I think it's great.
Yeah, the cover stuff's fun. We are doing songs from the 2 albums that were released in lockdown. A Letter to You and Western Stars. Yeah. And so we have a couple of those in our sets as well as the Seeger sessions. Yeah. And we have, we try to touch on a little bit of everything. But the cover stuff is always fun.
Brilliant,
And he does, Night Shift and all that
I love Night Shift. It's better than the original, I think. It's great. It's just great.
It's just, the guy just oozes cool, no matter what. He's just amazing,
Great stuff. Stephen, gigs coming up for the rest of the year? Is there plenty in the diary?
We have 2 coming up that coincide with Bruce's imminent performances in Dublin. One is the Alley Theatre in Strabane on Friday the 5th of May, and the Barbican Centre in Drogheda on Saturday the 6th, and then we've got a load of stuff from June onwards. We have a little bit of a lull period coming up because we've been really unusually busy from January this year, and then from June onwards it kicks into the end of the year. It's all on the website.
Plug the schedule.
Give us the website. Yep. Go for it.
Springsteen.co.uk.
Simple as that.
Hard to remember. Very difficult.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Robin.
I was 8 years old, running with a dime in my hand, to the bus stop to pick up a paper for my old man. I'd sit on his lap, that big old Buick, and steer as we drove through town. Tousle my hair, say, son, take a good look around. This is your hometown. This is your hometown. This is your hometown. This is your hometown. 65 tensions running high in my school. A lot of fights in the black and white. There was nothing you could do. The cars at a light on Saturday night. In the backseat there was a gun. The words were passed, the shotgun blast. Troubled times had come. My hometown. To my hometown. My hometown. To my hometown. Now Main Street, whitewash windows and vacant stores. Seems like there ain't nobody wants to come down here no more. They're closing down the textile mill across the railroad tracks. Foreman says these jobs, they're going, boys, and they ain't coming back to your hometown. To your hometown. To your hometown. To your hometown. This night me and Kate, we laid in bed, talking about getting out, packing up our bags, maybe heading south. I'm 35, I've got a boy of our own now. This night I set him up behind the wheel and said, son, take a good look around. This is your hometown. This is your hometown. This is your hometown.
Now, are you thinking about taking your pet on holiday this year? If you are, we're going to get